What if the biggest snub in Olympic history wasn't about basketball at all? January 9, 2026. Fresh leaks are pouring out of USA Basketball headquarters right now. And they're not subtle. They're brutal. For months we were sold the clean version. Caitlin Clark wasn't ready. Team chemistry. Experience matters more. Everyone nodded. We moved on. Until today. Multiple credible sources, people inside the camp, agents, even former staff, are confirming the same chilling sentence that was allegedly said behind closed doors last spring. If we bring her, the fans will ruin the focus. We can't control her army. Her army. Not her game. Not her shooting. Not her leadership. Her fans. They weren't worried Caitlin couldn't help win gold. They were terrified that if she didn't play 30 minutes a night, the internet would explode, and the headlines would shift from Team USA dominates to why isn't Caitlin playing? So they made the calculation. Not basketball calculation. PR calculation. Ego calculation. They chose silence over spotlight. Control over chaos. And they chose to leave the single biggest draw in women's basketball history at home, during the most watched Olympics ever. But that was only the first betrayal. The second one hurts even deeper. When the invite finally came, months later for the post-Olympic training camp, they didn't just bring her in quietly. They took something sacred. Number 22. The number that's tattooed on the hearts of millions of little girls who started playing because of her. The number she made legendary in college. The number that's already $1 million brand. Team USA assigned it to someone else. Gave Caitlin 7. In the silent language of sports, that's not oversight. That's a declaration. You don't own anything here. Not even your own number. The message was crystal clear. You're not special. You're replaceable. You're just another body in camp. And when word got back to Caitlin's circle, people close to her say the reaction wasn't anger. It was colder than that. It was the sound of someone realizing, maybe this door was never meant to open. But here's the part that should scare every USA basketball fan. The latest leak isn't about past decisions. It's about what Coach Cheryl Reeve allegedly said in a closed meeting just days ago. A sentence that, if confirmed, could end any hope of reconciliation forever. What did she really say? And why are people inside the program now whispering that Caitlin Clark's Team USA future might already be dead? You're still here. Good. Because what leaked yesterday afternoon changes the entire story. According to two separate sources with direct knowledge of the conversation, one current staff member and one recently departed assistant, Cheryl Reeve was asked point-blank in a high-level staff meeting, "Are we ever bringing Clark into the full senior program?" The room went quiet. Then, allegedly, Reeve looked around and said, "She's better off building her own thing. We don't need the circus." The circus. That one word is doing more damage than any roster snub ever could. Because it's not about talent anymore. It's not about fit. It's personal. It's the head coach of the most decorated women's basketball program on earth basically saying out loud, "We'd rather lose eyeballs, lose revenue, lose a generational talent, than deal with the attention she brings." And once that sentence leaked, everything clicked into place. The jersey number grab, the delayed invite, the public dismissals during the Olympics, the refusal to ever give her full credit for the explosion in women's basketball popularity. It wasn't random. It was coordinated. Insiders now say there were two camps inside USA Basketball last year. Camp 1, put her on the team. Let her grow. The game needs her. Camp 2, she'll overshadow everyone. Keep her away until she learns her place. Guess which camp won? And guess who led it? The moment that clip of Reeve's alleged circus comment hit group chats, players started reacting. Veterans who were on the Olympic roster quietly liked posts supporting Caitlin. Younger players who idolized her started posting cryptic stories, black screens with broken heart emojis. Even some of the biggest names in the program are reportedly furious, not at Caitlin but at how she's been treated. Because deep down, a lot of them know the truth. The viewership spike, the sold-out exhibitions, the sudden global interest in USA women's basketball. A massive part of that momentum came from one player who wasn't even in Paris. And now the coach who kept her out is on record allegedly calling that momentum a circus. The backlash is building fast. Sponsors are watching. Media partners are asking questions. Fans are flooding comment sections with #Justice for Caitlin. And the one question nobody can answer yet. If the head coach believes Caitlin is better off building her own thing, what happens when that thing becomes bigger than Team USA itself? Because right now, it already is. The word circus is still echoing across every basketball group chat tonight. And it's not going away. Because when the head coach of USA Basketball allegedly calls the biggest fan movement in the sport a circus, that's not a slip. That's a worldview. And today, January 9, 2026, that worldview just leaked to the entire world. Multiple outlets, including 2 national sports reporters with long-standing sources inside the program, are now confirming the same chilling detail. In a recent senior staff call, Cheryl Reeve reportedly doubled down on the original snub decision. She allegedly said, "We made the right call last summer. Bringing her in would have turned the Olympics into her show. We needed focus, not a distraction. Focus, not a distraction." Let that hit you. The most decorated women's basketball coach alive just framed the single player who's single-handedly driven the highest viewership, merchandise sales, and global interest in the history of the program as a distraction. Not an asset, a distraction. And the timing of this leak couldn't be worse for Team USA. Right now, the program is in the middle of planning the next World Cup cycle. They need every eye, every dollar, every young player dreaming of wearing red, white, and blue. Instead, they're watching Caitlin Clark dominate highlight reels, sell out WNBA arenas, drop signature shoe commercials, and build a brand that's already eclipsing the entire federation. The contrast is brutal. While Team USA plays friendlies in half-full gyms, Caitlin's games are appointment television. While the national team fights for relevance post-Olympics, Caitlin's social media engagement numbers are setting new records weekly. And the fans know it. Tonight, #JusticeForCaitlin is trending worldwide again. Not just in the US, globally. Kids in Australia, Spain, Japan are posting videos wearing 22 jerseys and tagging USA Basketball with one question. Why are you scared of her? The pressure is mounting fast. Sponsors who fund the national team are reportedly asking uncomfortable questions. Why are we leaving the biggest draw on the bench? How does this help long-term growth? And inside the program, fractures are showing. Several Olympic gold medalists have privately reached out to Caitlin's circle in the last 48 hours. Veteran players are starting to speak up in closed meetings. If we're serious about growing the game, we can't keep punishing the person who's actually doing it. But the coaches' camp isn't backing down. They're digging in. And the latest rumor, the one that has people truly worried about Caitlin's future, is the quietest one yet. Word is spreading that Cheryl Reeve has already told key decision makers. She's welcome to try out again, but only if she comes in on our terms. No special treatment. No guaranteed minutes. No number 22. Translation: bend the knee or stay out. If that's true, it's not an invitation. It's an ultimatum. And for a player who's already proven she doesn't need Team USA to become a legend, that ultimatum might just backfire in the most spectacular way possible. Because when you tell a supernova she has to dim her light to fit in your room, she usually just builds her own bigger one. January 9, 2026, 11:55 p.m. The internet is on fire tonight. The circus comment has been screenshotted, quoted, memed, and dissected from every angle. And the fallout is spreading faster than anyone expected. WNBA players, current and former, are starting to weigh in publicly. One former All-Star posted a simple black square tonight with white text. Some people fear the light because they've spent years in the dark. No name, no tag, but everyone knew exactly who it was about. Another current starter retweeted a fan post saying, "The game grew because of her, not despite her," then deleted it 20 minutes later. The fear is real. Players want to support Caitlin, but they also know crossing the head coach of the national team can cost you future opportunities. That's the chilling power dynamic at play. Cheryl Reeve isn't just a coach. She's the gatekeeper. She decides who gets invited, who gets minutes, who gets the jersey, who gets the legacy. And right now, she's using that gate to keep one person out. But here's the part that's starting to scare even her own supporters. The longer this drags on, the more it looks like petty revenge instead of principled coaching. Because every week that passes without a clear path for Caitlin back into the program, the narrative shifts from tough but fair decision to personal vendetta. And vendettas don't age well when the other side is winning. Caitlin isn't sitting around waiting. She's dropping 30-point triple-doubles. She's headlining sold-out tours. She's signing 8-figure deals. She's inspiring a generation that's wearing her jersey, not the USA one. And every time she succeeds outside the system, it makes the system look smaller. Tonight's leak isn't just damaging Reeve's reputation. It's damaging the entire brand of USA Basketball. Parents are starting to tell their daughters, If they treat the best player like this, what will they do to you? Recruitment for future national teams is quietly getting harder. And the one question everyone is asking right now: how long can Team USA afford to keep the biggest star on the outside looking in, before the outside becomes the main stage? Because right now, it already feels that way. And the next move? It's coming from Caitlin's side. What happens when the player who was snubbed decides she doesn't want to come back at all? That moment might be closer than anyone thinks. It's almost midnight on January 9th, 2026. And the silence from Caitlin Clark's camp just got louder. No statement. No tweet. No Instagram story clapback. Just nothing. And that nothing is screaming. People close to her say she's been told about the latest leaks. The circus comment, the better off building her own thing line, the rumored ultimatum about our terms only. Her response? She turned off her phone, went back to the gym and kept working. That's not avoidance. That's power. Because every hour she doesn't react publicly, the story grows bigger on its own. Every workout video she posts without addressing the drama makes the contrast more brutal. Team USA is in damage control meetings. Caitlin is just dominating. And the fans are noticing. Right now, a new wave of support is surging, bigger than after the Olympic snub. Parents are posting videos of their daughters shooting in 22 jerseys with captions like, "If they don't want her, we do." College coaches are tweeting, "She's still the standard, national team or not." Even international federations are starting to whisper, "If USA doesn't want her, maybe she plays for someone else someday." That last one is the nuclear option nobody's saying out loud yet, but it's being thought. Caitlin was born in the US, yes, but international eligibility rules are complicated. And with her global brand exploding, the idea of her suiting up for another country in future competitions isn't impossible. It's just unthinkable, until it isn't. Meanwhile, pressure is mounting on Cheryl Reeve from every direction. USA basketball sponsors are reportedly concerned about the narrative. They didn't pour hundreds of millions into women's basketball to watch the biggest draw get frozen out. Media partners are asking for off-the-record briefings. Even some of the gold medal players are starting to push back internally, quietly asking why the program is alienating the one person who could make the next cycle the most watched ever. And the coach? She's not budging. Sources say Reeve believes history will vindicate her. She thinks the team-first mentality will win long-term. She thinks Caitlin's fame is a bubble that will eventually pop. But tonight, that bubble looks bigger than ever. The signature shoe is coming. Viewership records are falling weekly. Merch sales are through the roof. And Team USA's next big showcase? A series of exhibitions next summer. They need star power. They need buzz. They need eyes. They need Caitlin. But after everything that's leaked in the last 24 hours, the bridge is burning fast. And the one question burning hottest right now: what happens if Caitlin Clark simply says, "I'm good"? No more invites. No more ultimatums. No more number 7. Just her building the biggest stage the sport has ever seen. Without them, that moment isn't hypothetical anymore. It's approaching. And when it arrives, USA basketball might lose more than one player. They might lose the future. Midnight has passed. January 10th is here. And the first major domino just fell. A high-profile WNBA veteran, someone who's won multiple gold medals with Team USA, posted this on X tonight. Basketball isn't about who's in the room. It's about who fills the seats. When we start treating the person filling the seats like a problem, we stop growing. No name drop. No direct shot. But the timing was surgical. Within minutes, replies flooded in. Say it louder for the back. This is about Caitlin and everyone knows it. Time to retire the old guard. The post has already been liked over 150,000 times. That's not support. That's a movement. And it's gaining speed because the leaks keep coming. Another bombshell dropped just 30 minutes ago from a national columnist with deep USA basketball ties. According to multiple sources, Cheryl Reeve has privately told key committee members that she's prepared to walk away from the head coaching job if Caitlin Clark is forced onto future rosters. She allegedly said, "I won't coach a team that becomes a one-player show. If that's the direction, someone else can do it." Translation: it's her way or the highway. That line, if confirmed, is catastrophic. Because you don't threaten to quit over one player unless the ego is fully in control. And right now it looks like the ego is winning. But here's the twist no one saw coming. Caitlin's agent reportedly received a quiet feeler tonight from an international basketball organization. Not an official offer. Not yet. Just a would she ever consider? Message. The kind of message that gets sent when someone smells blood in the water. If USA Basketball keeps pushing her away, someone else will happily open the door. And the moment that door opens even a crack, the conversation changes forever. Suddenly it's not, will she ever play for Team USA? It's, which country will she choose if she wants to? The program that built itself on being untouchable is suddenly looking very touchable. Cheryl Reeve wanted control. She wanted focus. She wanted no distractions. Instead, she's created the biggest distraction in women's basketball history. And it's only getting louder. Because when you turn away the player who could have carried the flag to new heights, you don't just lose her. You lose the generation that was watching. And that generation, they're already choosing sides. The question now isn't whether Caitlin Clark's Team USA career is over. It's whether Team USA can survive without her. It's 1:17 a.m. January 10, 2026. The basketball world hasn't slept. The circus leak has exploded into full chaos. SportsCenter is running it on loop. Podcasters are going live. And the hashtag #CircusGate is trending #1 worldwide. But the real earthquake just hit. A bombshell report dropped minutes ago from one of the most trusted insiders in women's basketball. According to sources who were in the room, Cheryl Reeve held an emergency call with the USA Basketball Executive Committee tonight. The topic? Damage control. The ask? Silence. She reportedly told the group, "We cannot let this become a referendum on Caitlin Clark. We stick to the plan. We focus on winning. If she wants to play for us someday, she knows the door is open." But here's the part that's sending chills down spines. She allegedly added, "And if she chooses not to, then we move forward without her. We've won gold before her. We'll win gold after her." That sentence is nuclear. Because in one breath, the head coach just confirmed what millions feared. Team USA is prepared to write Caitlin Clark out of its future entirely. No more soft ultimatums. No more she can try out. Just cold, final acceptance. We're okay without you. And the program is betting everything that the fans will forget. But the fans are not forgetting. Right now, Caitlin's jersey sales on the WNBA shop are spiking 300% overnight. Her signature shoe pre-orders are crashing the site again. Kids are posting videos burning replica Team USA jerseys with 22 crossed out. This isn't backlash. This is a boycott in real time. And the cracks inside the program are widening. Multiple Olympic teammates have turned off comments on their socials. Some are privately telling friends, "I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to play with the best, not to watch them get iced out." The divide is no longer coach versus player. It's old guard versus new era. Team USA built its legacy on dominance. But dominance without the biggest draw in the sport starts to look like isolation. And isolation is dangerous when the rest of the world is catching up. International teams are watching this mess with popcorn. They know what happens when a superpower pushes away its own talent. The question isn't if Caitlin Clark will ever wear red, white, and blue again. The question is, does she even need to? Because right now she's building something that looks suspiciously like the future of basketball. And it doesn't have a USA logo on it. And the one thing that could stop this train? A public apology. A real invitation. A return of number 22. But after tonight's leaked words, that train might have already left the station. Dawn is breaking on January 10, 2026. And with the sunrise comes the first real sign of panic from USA Basketball. An official statement dropped at 6:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, carefully worded, lawyer-approved, classic damage control. USA Basketball is proud of our Olympic gold and the culture of excellence we've built. We remain committed to selecting the best team for every competition. All eligible players are welcome to compete for spots. Our focus is on the future and continued growth of women's basketball. Translation: we're not apologizing. We're not backing down. And we're definitely not saying her name. But the statement only poured gasoline on the fire. Within minutes, reply tweets were savage. All eligible players, except the one who brings 10 million extra viewers. Translation: stay in your lane, Caitlin. Proud of a gold medal nobody watched because you left the biggest star home. The narrative is locked in. And the longer USA Basketball stays silent on Caitlin specifically, the louder the silence becomes. Meanwhile, Caitlin's team is playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. No response yet. But this morning she dropped a single Instagram post. A black and white photo of her in the gym at sunrise. Ball in hand. Caption: keep going. 4 words. Zero drama. Maximum impact. That post has 2.1 million likes in under 2 hours. She's not fighting back with words. She's fighting back with dominance. And the contrast is devastating. While the national program scrambles to explain itself, Caitlin is quietly rewriting the sport's future. Her upcoming signature shoe launch is already being called the biggest women's basketball release ever. Brands are circling. Global tours are being planned. She's not waiting for an invitation. She's creating her own stage. And every day that passes without a real olive branch from USA Basketball, that stage gets bigger. The fear inside the program is palpable now. If Caitlin publicly says, "I'm done trying," or worse, hints at international eligibility, the fallout won't just be bad. It will be historic. The program that once stood untouchable could become the one begging for relevance. Because when you turn away the player who could have elevated the entire sport to new heights, you don't just lose her. You lose the right to call yourself the best. And right now, that title is up for grabs. The next 48 hours are critical. Will Cheryl Reeve blink? Will the committee force a reset? Or will they let pride burn it all down? Because the clock is ticking. And Caitlin Clark isn't slowing down. The sun is barely up on January 10th, 2026. And USA Basketball's morning statement is already being torn apart online. Fans aren't buying the all-eligible players welcome line. Not after the overnight leaks. Not after this circus comment. Not after the reported threat to walk if Caitlin is forced in. The backlash has gone global. European basketball accounts are posting side-by-side comparisons. Caitlin Clark averages versus Team USA exhibition attendance. Australian fans are tweeting, "She'd be welcome on our national team tomorrow." Even casual NBA fans who never watched women's ball before are jumping in. This is why I don't watch Team USA anymore. Petty politics. The narrative has fully flipped. What started as tough roster decision is now universally seen as ego-driven exile of the sport's biggest star. And the pressure is hitting sponsors hard. Nike, Caitlin's biggest partner, hasn't commented publicly yet, but insiders say their marketing team is monitoring closely. Translation: if the national program keeps alienating their $28 million athlete, future national team campaigns could get a lot more complicated. Meanwhile, Cheryl Reeve's allies are starting to defend her in private circles. They claim she's protecting the program's culture. That Caitlin's massive following would create unhealthy expectations. That the team-first mentality is what won 9 straight golds. But that defense is cracking under one undeniable fact. The last Olympics was the most watched ever for women's basketball. And Caitlin wasn't even there. The growth happened despite the snub, not because of it. So when the coach says, "We've won before her, we'll win after her," it rings hollow. Because winning gold is one thing. Winning the hearts of a new generation is another. And right now the new generation is wearing 22, not USA. Caitlin posted again this morning. Same gym. Same sunrise. Same forward caption. Keep going. But this time she added a subtle detail. She's wearing a plain black hoodie. No logos. No national team gear. No WNBA patch. Just her, the ball and the work. Fans are reading into it like crazy. She's done waiting. She's building her own legacy. She doesn't need the red, white, and blue anymore. And the scariest part for USA Basketball? They might be right. Because if the biggest star in the sport decides the national team isn't worth the drama, the program doesn't just lose a player. It loses the cultural momentum it desperately needs for the next decade. The World Cup is coming. The next Olympics are coming. And the world is watching. Right now, Team USA has one last window to fix this. A real invitation. A real apology. A return of number 22. But after every leaked word, every defiant statement, every morning of silence, that window is closing fast. And if it slams shut, the future of USA women's basketball might look very different. Because the next gold medal team might not be the one that matters most. January 10th, 2026, late morning. The storm has reached full force. USA Basketball's PR team is in overdrive. Damage control calls are happening hourly. But the damage is done. The leaks have confirmed what fans suspected all along. This isn't about basketball IQ. It's about control. Cheryl Reeve wanted a team she could shape, not a supernova she couldn't contain. And Caitlin Clark? She never asked to be the center of the universe. She just played. She just won. She just inspired millions. But when you're that bright, some people don't want to share the light. So they tried to dim it. They snubbed her. They took her number. They called her fans a circus. They drew a line in the sand. And now that line is a canyon. Today, the sports world is asking the final question. Is Caitlin Clark's Team USA career truly over? The answer, based on everything we've seen in the last 48 hours, is leaning yes. Not because she quit, but because they made it impossible to stay. She's too big now, too independent, too loved, and Team USA is suddenly looking very small. The program that once stood as the pinnacle of the sport now faces a reckoning. Will they evolve? Will they embrace the star they tried to exile? Or will they double down on pride and watch the future pass them by? Because the truth is brutal. You can win gold medals without Caitlin Clark, but you can't grow the game without her. Not anymore. She's already doing it, on her own terms, on her own stage, with her own army. And that army isn't asking for permission. They're demanding respect. If USA Basketball wants to be part of the next era, they'll have to earn it. If not, the torch has already been passed. It's not in Paris. It's not in the national team gym. It's in an empty gym at Sunrise, with one player, one ball. And the words keep going. That's not the end of a career. That's the beginning of something much bigger. And whether Team USA is part of it, is now up to them. Thanks for riding this wild story with me. The drama is far from over. Drop your thoughts below. Should Caitlin ever go back? Or is she better off building her own legacy? Like if you're Team Caitlin. Subscribe if you want every update as this unfolds. See you in the next one.